As you start to educate others, you'll probably have to clear up some common misconceptions about cannabis or how the industry operates. So let's play a little game of true or false, as we validate or debunk some of the most popular myths. First, we have driving under the influence of cannabis. You might think this is fine because you have your medical recommendation and this is your medicine, but that is false. According to the law, driving under the influence of cannabis is just as illegal as driving under the influence of alcohol or other substances. Studies by Hendricks W.J. Robb and J.F. O'Hanlon found that drivers under the influence of alcohol tend to underestimate their degree of impairment, while cannabis users tend to overestimate their impairment. For instance, when given a 7 milligram dose of THC, about a third of a joint, drivers rated themselves as impaired, even though their driving performance was not. Whereas others who had a blood alcohol level of 0.04% or slightly less than 2 alcoholic beverages rated themselves unimpaired, even though their driving performance was impaired. So, if you're planning on using any products before you leave the house, make sure you have a designated driver or wait enough hours for the effects to wear off completely to avoid driving while impaired. Next myth, number 2. CBD is not psychoactive. That is false, and probably one of the most notable misconceptions in the industry. While CBD doesn't have the same intoxicating effects as THC, it does cross the blood-brain barrier and can still alter a person's mood, making them feel calm or relaxed. So technically, CBD by definition is still psychoactive. It just won't leave you feeling impaired or intoxicated like THC. Another common myth is that using cannabis lowers the sperm count in males. Previous research led us to believe that this was true, but a recent Harvard study showed that this is not always the case. While they stated that this topic does need more research, their initial study found that low levels of cannabis use could benefit sperm production because of its effects on the endocannabinoid system. However, those benefits were lost with higher levels of cannabis consumption. Now, last on our list, overdose. It is fair to wonder if anyone has ever overdosed on cannabis. And while consuming a fatal dose of cannabis is extremely unlikely, there have been adverse effects, usually stemming from underlying medical conditions, which have resulted in death. But for most healthy adults, effects from cannabis usually wear off within 6 to 12 hours. Well, this covers our 4 most common cannabis myths for today. Make sure you visit cannabiscareer.com to learn more and help eliminate the spread of misinformation.